know about the youth and people as a whole in our community. This is a trap. And what happens when a trap is set for you, you don't see the trap. And once you're captured into the trap, such as I was, I didn't even know I was in a trap because the things that I was trapped in was attractive. So we have to be mindful of what we do in front of others. People were doing things that had my attention, and it caused me to desire to be into what they were doing. And after doing so, and then got captured, it was like, this is a wonderful thing. I'm getting high, I'm getting money, I understand the language, but it's one thing that I didn't know, and that is that the trap was so powerful that once you get in it, there's an enemy, and you have to do his will. And I was that person that came to my senses, as the Word of God says, after you had come to your senses and escaped the snare, the trap of the devil, having been taken captive by him to do his will. So once a person is trapped, they're going to do his will. Now, what we have to do is bring forth great information that's so powerful that they would miss the trap. Now, after I was released from the bondage that I was in, I was told to go back to my community, in which I had made so effective in the unrighteous path that people followed me, admired what I was doing, but I was in a trap. So I called so many people to be in a trap with me, and he's sending me right back out there to get the people that's still out there out of the trap. And that's my responsibility. And I've written a book that's entitled Still High, one of the greatest books that I think that could help our communities and get people back into the swing of what we really need. And that's my desire, and that's why I'm out in the streets. New Way Outreach Ministry is a ministry that reaches out. Don't be inside of the building. I'm outside where the people are that's hurting, that's crying for help. And my encouragement to the people that's in the church, come out of the building. You never know the importance of that.
And so the idea of the book, Still High, is to indicate that you are still high, but you're high on something outside of what you were generally high on, and the experience is greater,
much greater,
with being still high than it was during the earlier parts of your situation. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, and it don't cost you a dime to keep this high once you learn about it. And it has so much information that the same enemy that captured me don't want nobody to get this book. This book been out since 2013, and I believe Nashville should be flooded with the book. If you want to see a difference, you never know until you try it.
And I think some of the problems that we're talking about here are not problems that are limited in terms of the African-American experience and the African-American male, because in a real sense, getting high in the other sense is a national problem now, which is to say that more people are dying of cocaine and et cetera than in automobile accidents and et cetera. And so I think what you have there as a book is something that is very, very valuable and needed in terms of the kind of situations that we find, not African-American males, but African-Americans, other groups, and all of them find the same problems, the same challenges, and et cetera. And so what we're going to do, Reverend Walker, we're going to take this second commercial break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to start with you doing this last 10-minute segment and then go down. And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. If they see things, they need a job, they need to have some money. And if you had some way of knowing on Saturday you're going to get $55 or $60 or whatever, you could do something with that.
That's true. It's hard telling the teenagers, drop your gang flag, put the dope down, if you can't give them means to be able to provide. You know, it's hard to do.
And that's hard for me to understand that our leaders and state legislature folks can't seem to understand that it's much more cost effective to do it that way than, but I don't know.
It's amazing how they go.
Well, anyway, Reverend, I'm going to start with you when we come back during this second segment we'll have 10 minutes, and then you take about 3 minutes of it, and you take about 3 minutes of it, then we'll do the last couple of minutes, and then end it out for the day. But this is exactly, I think that this is this kind of information is people need to know this. I think people know it, but it needs somebody to come to pull it all together and make them understand that.
That's what it's about.
Just so many lives are simply being disrupted and destroyed in terms of what we're doing here.
It really is. It definitely.
And so, Pastor, we'll start with you.
All right.
Know what we're doing. Just pick it up and deal with what it's take about 3 or 4 minutes. RWaller,
it's going to be.
Let the bishop close us out.
All right.
That what we put together.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be great. 30 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, I like this show. Thank you and welcome back to the final segment of the show for today. We're talking to Pastor Walker, Reverend Waller, and Bishop Campbell. Reverend Campbell.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hey, I'm a pastor here, I'm a reverend there, and I'm a bishop down there. By the time I get to the bishop, I forget who the bishop is. Out of all that. Next time, Bishop, I'll start with you. But let us start off, Pastor Walker, really by making some comments in reference to the topic that we're trying to deal with today. And I think all of us understand the tenor and the purpose of what we're trying to do here. And let's speak from that perspective.
Okay. You know, Dr. Haney, one of the things that Bishop Campbell touched on and that you also offered some feedback into, we talked about the economics of it all. You know, we talk about one of the common denominators where people are that deals with the violence and the gang involvement, the drug selling, the robbing. It's all about economics. It's all about money. We live in America, the land of opportunity, a capitalistic society. Where money is the voice. Money speaks. Money gets things done. You know, money is right up there with oxygen. You got to have it to survive and live. And I think what's happening is that we know money is needed. We say we go to our youth or young men and you know, we want to talk to them about, you know, getting a job, and at the same time, what we're doing, we're asked, because you said something about the government, you know, doing something. Well, the government has done what the government's going to do. And that is, they took away the stuff. You know, they began to take away those things that worked. You know, the government took away the ability for a young black man to go into the military without having a high school diploma or graduating high school. That was a safety net that kept us out of the school to prison pipeline. You know, we had an option right there to go into the military. You could drop out of school, and a lot of us grew up with the idea and thought, and I hear we drop out of school and go to the military. But now you can't do that either. So, you know, then, you know, you got the summer program that they took away, the community centers that they took away, and, you know, and we look at all this stuff, the feeding, you know, youth in the park, all that kind of stuff that the government provided and began to take away. And then Bush with this faith-based initiative stuff, which is just another mechanism to control folks. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this. I don't think it's logical for anybody that's really out here trying to help the youth try to build our community or help restructure some things. I don't think it's logical to believe that the government's going to give us something that they're taking away. You know, why would we think that the government, you know, is going to give us some money to help us when the government is the one taking the money away from us that was helping us? So what we have to do, we're going to have to create our own. You know what I'm saying? If we want to provide jobs, we're going to have to create the monies ourselves and provide the jobs ourselves. Otherwise, won't no jobs be provided. We'll still be trying to get a 501c3, still begging the government for this, still begging this private foundation for that. And then if they give you the money, then you're starting to make a difference. They start seeing lives change, they start seeing growth and stuff and development and stuff like that. Then the next time you apply, submit for that grant, they're not going to give you the money because they don't want to see you succeed. But now if you're not doing anything, you're not producing no results, but you're just looking good on paper, they'll keep on giving you money. You know what I'm saying? But if you're showing some positive results and you really impacting the lives of these people, they're going to pull that money back because they don't want it to happen. You got the privatization of the prison system here going on, and they asking the states to guarantee me 90% occupancy, and you think the state gonna give you some money to mess up that contract they got? No, they're not gonna do that. So if we're gonna do something, then we got to create our own monies, and we got to come together. You know, if you want to change a community, you got to buy it. You got to go in and buy it. You see it happening all over town. 12th South used to be 12th Avenue South. When folks went in there and bought it, they turned it into 12th South. I mean, we could do the same thing if enough people would just come together and pool resources. You know, there's industries out here. If I stand in a room full of young black males that's selling dope, I'm not gonna go in there talking to them about go get you a job, because these are entrepreneurs. I need to talk to them about
their job.
Yeah,
that's the only job that they find available, and that's the job that they work.
And that's it. They're entrepreneurs at heart. So you got to talk to them about entrepreneurship. You got to show me a way I can make some money. You know what I'm saying? Some real money out here. Show me how I can own my own business and how I can employ some people myself. That's what we have to do, and stop begging the government for stuff that their government ain't trying to give us.
Brother Waller.
Dr. Haney, what I like about an opportunity to reach out is that the gift that we have. A lot of us have gifts and don't really know how to exercise it. And when we do and get captured, we can no longer pursue it. That happened to me. So I have a chapter in my book called Forsaken Talent. And then after that, the chapter next to it is called Out of Control. And if you don't mind, I'll give you a little reading of it, just a little dab of Out of Control. This is what used to happen to me years ago before I ever thought about it in book writing. I can remember people asking me, Ricky, what college are you going to? Or who is recruiting you? My answer was always the same: college. Why would I go to someone's college and take a chance on breaking my ankle? I am making more money now than I would going to somebody's college. That's how I used to talk back then. And I said, how